We're throwing that one up there. Ooh.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Now let's get it all in perspective for all y'all enjoying Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, our setting as we take a look at this striking view of the landmark 3rd Avenue Bridge. The Timberwolves look to take charge here at the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. Last outing for Minnesota, they won that game against the Charlotte Hornets. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on it.
And they tailored a fantastic...
Last outing for Golden State, it was a loss to the Grizzlies of Memphis.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them. When you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
They didn't challenge the shooters. They didn't defend the shooters like they should have. And once the fans... got into it, and the arena started ramping up and cranking up. It was over.
And Golden State looking at who they beat. Barnes and Green of the forward set. Barbosa is out there with Livingston, and it's Spates in at the 5. On the free throw. Is good, now leading by 1.
And guys, for Nikola Pekovic, NBA scouts said he needed work on his shot coming in. Yet he's money from mid-range at times, especially at the charity stripe. One of the best free throw shooting bigs we have in our league.
And Green gets it to go. 1:41 left to play in the first. Miller kicks to Adams. To the paint, and stolen by Spates. Miller against Barbosa. He dishes it to Barnes. Green passes to Spates.
Timberwolves foul. That's his first personal foul.
When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
Livingston hits both of them. Timberwolves trail by 3. Now let's find out what head coach Steve Curry had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
Coach had nothing but praise for his players, saying they played as well as I've ever seen them play. Everyone is making the right decisions, and honestly, they're playing so well, they don't even need a coach right now. That's an interesting sentiment, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. Green kicks to Livingston. Clock at 6. The drive by Green. No good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. Each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guard. Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swings, really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it.
Nice back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
3-2 that time from Pekovic.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. Timberwolves lead by 2. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And we've seen some big scoring numbers of late from Freak. We heard from perimeter defensive ace Andre Iguodala about how they hope to contain him tonight.
He's going to make some shots. I was looking at his last couple games, and when guys get up those many attempts and they get to the foul line, they're going to score. So we can't let that, affect the way we play our game. And the main thing is just getting the win.
Not to disagree, but don't you have to let that affect your game a little bit, Greg? I mean, don't you have to plan for those shots and try not to let Freak get to the free throw line as often as he does, and as part of your plan?
Kevin, easier said than done. What's that great expression? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Right. And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. There's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves. And they've had firepower and then some so far.
And Golden State, looking at who they've got. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Iguodala, the 3, with Barnes, the stretch 4. And it's Bogut in at the 5 spot.
When you're bad or struggling in the West, things can go south in a hurry. I mean, the Wolves ended with the worst record in the league last year at 16-66, and a lot of those losses came in their confidence.
It's Curry with the drive, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. Warriors have gone 6 of 11 from the floor, over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Doubled by Adams. It's stolen by Adams. And here we go. Freak heading to the hoop. And that one's good. Adams has got the lead up to 4 now for the Timberwolves.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Green with a screen for Barnes. Offline with his 3.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. That's good. And it's a 6-point Minnesota lead.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
Poked away, all by himself. Moving it up. It's Adams with the slam.
On the steal and then just bad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And the first half is now in the books. Minnesota on top, up by 8. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Ricky, you seem to gain some confidence shooting the basketball.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Minnesota. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Garnett. Shabazz Muhammad comes. In for Wiggins. Adams, he's checked in for Kevin Martin. And Miller's subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Different look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Draymond Green. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Anthony Towns and Pekovic are up front. Andre Miller is out there with Adams. And it's Muhammad in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. First one falls for him.
And Maurice Spates last season with the best year of his career. I mean, he shot the cover off the ball and did a nice job on the boards as well.
Rick, you were just talking about Mo Spates. Clark, he has a great mid-range jump shot.
He does, and they actually call him Mo Bucket. But he actually played so well last season, they even threw in Mo VP from time to time.
4 on the shot clock. Towns. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket. Warriors trail by 10. Kicks it to Barbosa. Fires from deep. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. Livingston's got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size. Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Back to Barbosa. Puts up a 3. Miller grabs the miss.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
There's a screen. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Adams' shot is off.
You don't want your best shooter heaving up that shot.
Exactly. Even the top 3-point specialists in the league would probably catch heat for taking that shot. The D has gotten a little lax defending the 3-point shot at that end.
3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
The Timberwolves again can't hit.
As a player, you always want to be able to answer back, but he just didn't have it in him that time.
Back to Barnes. Barnes sets a screen for Barbosa. And it's Barbosa again missing. Timberwolves lead by 4. Miller dishes to Towns. Now the feed to Adams. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Here is Livingston. Barnes screen on Miller. For 3, Barbosa. It's hauled in by Andre Miller. Just his first attempt. No good. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the 3rd quarter. It's all right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. 4th quarter should be good. And so Minnesota takes the win, probably a little closer than
the 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Ricky Rubio. He stepped up his game tonight, getting it done all game long and making the plays whenever they needed him to.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He had a very nice night from the field tonight, shooting over 50%.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.